In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to interpret your child's school report. So you'll receive the report at the end of semester 1 or at the end of semester 2. As you're looking through the English and maths, you'll see a number of assessment items that teachers have marked against. These are just a summary of the different assessments that students have performed against in the different subject areas, and on the 5-scale continuum how they have performed. And that starts from well below standard to well above standard. As you are reading through your school report, especially in English and mathematics, you will notice the next steps in learning. The next steps in learning are a summary of the things that the teachers will be working on with your child in the next units, or to continue to help them grow. These are also a bit of an idea of what you could work on at home with your student if you wanted to further support them. When you look at the Victorian curriculum, you will notice there's some dot points, and as your child grows through school, it will measure their growth. It is important to note that the Victorian curriculum is set by the government, and these are benchmark scores. So children don't always fit in those benchmarks that are assigned to them. So what you really want to look at is the growth that your child has had during that period. If you are ever concerned about any of these growth markers, I strongly encourage you to talk to your classroom teacher straight away. I'm just going to give you a further explanation on how these dot points work. So you will notice that in this first column here, it talks about previous achievement. So this is when was the last time the student was marked against this curriculum standard. So you can see here it was 6 months ago. For some of our subjects in the humanities, such as history and geography, you might see that that's 12 months ago, depending on where that falls in our curriculum sequence. You will then notice that it's broken down into the year levels. This is based on what the Victorian curriculum asks teachers to teach and assess on in each of those year levels. Some students, this student is in year 1, some students might fall back into the prep or up into the grade 2 or grade 3 part or beyond. So this is just an indicator of what is taught in that specific year level. You can see that this child has made growth in all areas and is in the shaded blue area, which means they're at standard for a year 1 student. Now what you'll notice is that some of the gaps in the dots are a little bit smaller. This suggests that the child has grown, but perhaps hasn't grown as much as they have in other curriculum areas. This is usually reflected in the next steps in learning or the general comment for something for the child to continue to work on. There is also one with statistics and probability where there is just one dot. This can mean two different things. It may mean that in prep they haven't learnt statistics and probability, so it's not been marked on before. And you can see that because it has not got anything written here. If it had been taught before, it would mean perhaps the student has not moved from the point when they were last marked. You also might like to take some time to look through the general comments. These comments the teachers work really hard on and are cause for celebration with your child about all the wonderful things they've done throughout the semester.